Hi guys, so in this video I'm going to show you some of my texts that I've been sending. So this is some text I was sending to a girl from a while ago, yeah, I'm just going to show you all the texts, just go through it, explain it, analyze it, give you guys some ideas. Hopefully it'll help you out when it comes to you guys sending text as well. So my own personal preference when it comes to texting is to use proper sentences and proper statements, getting the message across using proper statements really. I don't really do half sentences, that sort of thing, as if it was a real life verbal conversation. I prefer just having a proper statement. What I do a lot of times, just do a full on statement and then ask a question, either following up on the same topic or a question to change onto another topic to keep the conversation going. So a lot of people in the PUA communities and stuff, they say stuff like, oh, make sure you're not texting more than she is, make sure that the length of what you're texting isn't more than what she is, because that means you're investing more than she is. But I don't really buy into that too much. As long as you're not writing a whole fucking essay compared to her of just writing a couple of lines, then it's not really that big of a deal. Sometimes you really just want to type out a decent enough of a response just to get your message across really. And sometimes it takes a bit of a lengthy paragraph or something to get that. And likewise, people say make sure that you're not responding quicker than she's responding to you. Again, it's one of those things. As long as you're not responding within the first minute or whatever when she texts, then it's not that big of a deal. It's about not doing something to the extreme most of the time, just keeping it cool. But yeah, that's just how I prefer to text, because this way you don't have to do so many texts back and forth that much, because I don't like to check my phone that often. So this way you can just type out a full statement, maybe a question, and then that way you can get a message across without having to spend ages back and forth being on your phone 24/7. But again, that's just how I prefer to do it. Obviously there's different ways to do it, and this is just my style of doing it, so this is just what I prefer. You don't have to obviously do it this way, whatever works for you really. So this girl, I approached her in a shopping mall, so in one of the shops of a shopping centre, and she was super hot, one of the hottest girls I've ever dated actually. And it was a really good interaction when I got her number. Unfortunately I didn't get it on video, but I'll show you all the text. So when it comes to sending texts, one of my default openers is what you can see here. I just say hi, whatever her name is. It was random but cool to meet you. Are you always so friendly to new guys? So this is pretty effective when there isn't anything particularly specific from the interaction that you remember. That will work most of the time in most cases, because if she gives you her number, she's obviously going to have to be at least a little bit friendly. So you can always pretty much say that, and that's something I like saying a lot of the time. In general, if you do remember something quite specific about the interaction, then it's always good to reference that in the opener, and just to get it off to a fun start, and that can be really effective to continue a conversation from. So by saying it was random and cool to meet you, that's a low-key, fairly friendly way to start off a conversation, and then you're following up just by asking a question, are you always so friendly to new guys? I think it might have been Tom Torero or someone who invented that. It's pretty effective, it's pretty tried and tested. I've used it a lot of times and got a good amount of responses from it, so it's definitely a good thing to say. It's good to vary it from time to time, because using the same opener over and over again can get a bit boring a lot of the time. And obviously the beauty with this is that it's almost kind of like a reverse shit test. It's almost like you're testing the girl in a way to say oh, are you always so friendly? It's almost oh, do you always give out your number to new guys, kind of a thing. So she almost kind of feels as if she has to justify herself in a way. So yeah, then she responds by saying, oh, nice talking to you, brave from you, not always. So it's pretty short and snappy from her, but it's obviously quite friendly. So then I follow up by saying, well, I'm glad you were friendly. I was almost afraid you were going to slap me around the face. So then again, it's just a kind of a playful thing to say. Obviously, it's kind of like the extreme opposite of how it actually was, because she was like super friendly and she's still being super friendly. So then you're kind of flipping it around, reversing it, teasing her in a way, by saying you thought she was gonna slap me around the face. But as you can see here, this is the sort of vibe that you want to kind of get across in the texting. You kind of want to be fun and playful. Don't talk about things too literally, and of course you want to be friendly, but you want to kind of balance that with a bit of humor, a bit of banter. Because she was so friendly, by saying you thought she was going to slap you around the face, it's a way of kind of breaking that and creating a bit of humor. So that's the kind of the beauty of using that. So then she's like, no way, am I so scary? Then I just play it down a bit and just say, no, I'm just joking, you seem like a sweet innocent girl. But then I flip it around again by saying, I'm sure you have a secret wild side. So again, that creates a bit of mystery, a bit of fun, and it's just an effective way to do a bit of flirting, because you don't want to have too boring of a conversation. You want it to be non-literal, and you want it to have a bit of you applying a bit of imagination in a way. So then she then says, you got me, and then I then reply by saying, I knew it. What have you been doing today? More shopping. So at this point, I've done a bit of the teasing and the humour and all that sort of stuff. So now I'm just having kind of a normal, sort of almost like a boring platonic conversation. So what you want to really do in the actual day game interaction as well as in the texting is you want to balance the teasing, the humour, the fun things that you're saying with just kind of more normal, friendly types of chit chat. Just kind of so she knows that you're a normal human being, and that that you actually are trying to find out a bit more about her on a personal level. So yeah, she's asking me, do you only have a dark side? And then she's going on about what she did that specific day. So she's going on about she went and saw some New Scientist live thing, and she asked me how my day was. So yeah, I'm just replying, had a chilled out day, went out last night with my mates, so taking it easy today. I then say I have many things I can't tell you about yet. So again, it's playing up a bit of mystery, keeping things exciting, trying not to make it too boring, while at the same time not revealing too much, because you don't want to reveal too much at this point to spoil the actual surprise later on the date. So you want to keep things short but interesting at the same time, I would say. And then after that, I just tease her by saying, I remember you mentioning that about the New Scientist thing. I never imagined you'd be so nerdy. So it's just a little bit of a low-key tease. So yeah, she says, I'm sure you can't, but it's the beauty of being unknown to someone. And then I say, yes, the thrill of the unknown. I guess you have a lot of secrets. Maybe you're a secret agent or something. Haha. Again, it's playing up a bit, just, a bit of role play, creating a bit of excitement. See if she buys into that. And then I follow up just with a normal, everyday boring question. Whereabouts did you say you're living? She keeps it short. I live in Southwest. So then at this point, I'm just kind of, taking what she says and then building up upon it, trying to, almost make a few assumptions, things about what can I think about when it comes to Southwest London. So then I say, so Southwest, there's a nice areas and there's slightly dodgy areas. Considering you haven't been stabbed yet, I'm guessing it's one of the nicer areas. But then she then replies by saying, oh, what are the dodgy areas within the Southwest? So then I'm just going on about the geographical locations which are stereotypically a bit dodgy in South London. Mitcham, Sutton, Streatham, Croydon, blah blah blah. And then you have the nice areas like Richmond. Then she says, my place is New Malden. It's not, it's a nice place, no problem whatsoever. This is all kind of the rapport side of things. You want to, find out a bit more about her. Just talking about basic things about like where she lives, what she's doing, what she does, what she's been up to. Just general chit chat kinds of questions that will get her to reveal a bit more about herself. And again, you can reveal a bit more about yourself at the same time. So she says New Malden, and then I say, I don't know that area too well. It's probably quite nice. Just don't go too far east from there. but if you're a secret agent, I'm sure you'll be able to handle yourself. So again, it's balancing just the normal chit chat with a bit of interesting spikes by just comparing her to a secret agent, which is a reference to something I said earlier about being a secret agent. So then she buys into that, playing into that by saying, if I tell you, I have to kill you. And then at that point, I then say, haha, better behave myself with you. Because of the fact that she's kind of buying into the tease about secret agent, I then follow up from that by saying I better behave myself with her. So that's kind of a subtle way to flirt effectively, because by saying that you behave yourself, it's almost like saying, oh, I'm not gonna do anything with you, sort of a thing. Better behave myself. But you can see that it's one of the ways to kind of spice up a conversation through text without making it boring, to make her invest in the conversation and make it so that she will potentially want to meet me later on. Because bear in mind, this girl is like way hotter than I am, and so you really have to make a good impression, especially when it comes to girls who are super hot and got plenty of options. You really do have to make an effort with the texts, and as well as obviously in the initial interaction, you really need to portray the image of someone who's really cool. In my case, I try to use a lot of humour, just because I find that that's one of the most effective ways to get her to invest. So then I try and seed the date. So I just say, let's meet for a coffee on Wednesday evening. I don't normally say, can we meet on Wednesday evening for a coffee ? I just say it as like a statement, like, come on, let's meet at Wednesday evening for a coffee. Because that's it's quite dominant, it's leading. That's kind of what girls usually like in general. So then she says, can't on Wednesday, how about Thursday? I can't on Thursday, how about Friday? She's not completely sure, she'll confirm, blah blah blah. At this point it's just kind of mostly logistics. And then she says, so what are you doing now? I then say, a bit of a night owl, just watching a TV series, Stranger Things, it's really good. What about you? Because what you want to do is, you don't want to be doing too much of the crazy talk. You want to balance it just with, just saying things which a normal person would say. She needs to get the idea that you are just a normal person doing normal things. So it's good just to throw in a bit of that. So yeah, then she says, yeah, let's get a coffee or orange juice on Friday, blah, blah, blah. Do you work in Central? Again, just more logistics stuff. What time do you finish work? Blah, blah, blah. Cool, 6:30 on Friday. So then she's going on about her work stuff. She might have some delays. Is that going to be okay? Yeah, that's fine. Just talking a bit more about stuff, about the clients, asking for constant revisions. Mostly just chit-chat stuff here. I used to do a job like that, blah, blah, blah. And then she just says, I'm looking forward to hearing your story. And then I just make a joke, make sure to bring the popcorn. It's just ironic, obviously. Obviously my life's not that exciting, but for her, just make the joke, make sure you bring the popcorn. So yeah, you can see here, as I said before, it's really a lot about balancing just normal chit-chat, getting to know her, asking basic questions, and replying with basic answers with more of the flirty, teasy type stuff, a bit of role-play type stuff. Just, answering things non-literally, almost to like the other extreme, in a way that creates, a humorous response. And she should, if she's interested, she should reply again in a way in which she accepts the jokes and follows on with the jokes as well. Because the use of humour is one of the most effective ways of getting girls to be interested in you, especially when she's a lot hotter than you as well. So yeah, a lot of it's really about she says one thing, you then take what she says, flip it around, try and take it to like the opposite extreme in a way. And that's what's a really effective way to create a humorous vibe, and something that she ought to kind of be interested in. So yeah, I hope that's helpful. Let me know what you guys think. Hopefully, you get a few tips out of this, and yeah, let me know what else you might find interesting to see as well. Cheers for watching. If you'd be interested in one-to-one coaching with me, where we'll go out in public and work on your approaching girls, or more generally with your social confidence, please visit my website ed-game.com.